Hey entrepreneurs, Sam Day here from DeyTips, and in this video I'm speaking about whether or not you should focus on paid marketing or free marketing. So just to clarify, paid marketing is when you're paying to get visitors back to your website or to a landing page. And free marketing is when you're driving visitors to your website for free. So you're not spending any upfront money. And I want to talk about the pros and cons to both and which one might be best for you as an entrepreneur and a business owner. So first and foremost, people will hear the term, paid marketing and free marketing and think, obviously I want to drive visitors to my website, to my landing pages for free without spending any money. And obviously that is ideal, but there are some cons to free marketing. And the first con to free marketing is the fact that it can take a while to start generating sufficient traffic for you to actually be generating results or business results. So for example, if you're blogging or if you're doing YouTube or if you're doing social media marketing, it's going to take quite a bit of content before you start building an audience and before you start getting the sufficient views and impressions in order for you to get enough people to click your links and go back to your website. So even though it's free traffic, it can take a while to build. Another con to doing free traffic methods is usually when you're creating content, you're reaching people who might not necessarily be in the ready to buy mindset. So even if you do manage to build an audience online and you do manage to build a following of your ideal customers, not all of them are going to be in the ready to buy mindset right now, unless you're ranking in Google for a buying intent keyword. So for a keyword that signifies that person is ready to make a purchase. For example, if you're selling woolly hats on your website and someone goes to Google and types in woolly hats that are red, and your website pops up, that is a buying intent keyword. It's really specific and they're going after a particular product. But if you create a TikTok or a YouTube video or an Instagram reel, then you're probably reaching people who are just, casually using the internet. They're not actively searching for anything. So when they come across your content, they might not be ready to buy right now, even if they give you a follow or even if they come to your website. But let's speak about some of the benefits to free traffic. Well, when you're creating content and you're doing content marketing to build your audience and send traffic for free to your website and landing pages, along that journey, you're building trust. And people like to buy online from people that they know, like, and trust. So in that way, your conversion rates when you do free traffic are likely to be a lot higher than when you do paid traffic, because paid traffic essentially is an advert and you might be reaching people who don't know about you yet and who, don't recognize your brand. So yeah, a percentage of them might convert, but the people who know you and follow your blog articles and your content online, they are likely to be more willing to, depart with their cash and invest in your product or your service because they trust your brand and you've delivered great value to them in the past. So let's move on to some of the pros and cons to paid traffic. So obviously, you have to pay for it. So it can be expensive to pay for traffic. Now, there are some ways to kind of, spend the least amount of money on your traffic and to make the most amount of money. And usually the best way to do that is by split testing. And what I mean by that is you might not always know right out of the gate what is going to work when you're doing your paid advertisement campaigns. So you might create a few ads to see which one converts the best. Maybe you have 4 or 5 different ideas about what might convert people from, a cold visitor into a customer. So you can test all of these different theories, these different ads, and don't get overwhelmed if you create a couple of ads and they don't work and no one's buying. That is simply marketing. You don't want to give up and quit. As long as you know that your target audience is on that platform, you might just need to tweak some of your marketing and split test a little bit. I will leave some videos in the description down below to both some of my free and paid traffic methods so you can do them more effectively, whichever one you decide to go for. Another con to paid traffic is the fact that you kind of have to always be checking on your ads. If you're doing organic free content and you're just, putting content out and you're attracting your target audience, that content can live online forever without you having to really tweak it. Whereas, when it comes to running paid ads, you have to update and check your ads often, because obviously you're paying for these ad positions and anything can happen in terms of, you might have a new competitor come in and your cost per click goes up, or your cost per impression goes up, or your ad might have just been shown to enough people and the effectiveness of that ad is wearing. So you constantly have to check and update and make sure that your ad is running. Whereas, especially if you're focusing on evergreen type content like blogging and YouTube, where your content kind of lives forever, you don't necessarily have to constantly update your content. Obviously, you're producing new content all of the time, but the old content is still passively bringing in leads and sales for your business. Whereas with the paid ads, you kind of have to be a little bit more proactive with your ads. So obviously, one of the biggest pros to doing paid traffic is how instant it can be. Like literally, you can set up a campaign on Meta ads or on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and you can be driving literally tens of thousands of people to your website almost instantly, within a few hours. And this is really attractive because, as we mentioned, with free marketing methods, it can take months, sometimes years, to generate enough traffic to really skyrocket your sales online. So what do I recommend for small business owners who are really trying to get their business on the map and start generating some income? Well, obviously, if you don't have a lot of disposable income at the moment, then doing free traffic methods is the choice for you. So you can actually do free traffic methods before you launch your business. This is what a lot of people don't realize. Like, you might have a business idea and you might have an idea for a product or for a service that you want to launch, and you haven't launched it yet, and you're waiting for all of the ducks to align before you launch it. Well, I recommend, figure out who your target customer is and start creating blog articles for it. Create your website and start creating blog articles for that particular customer avatar. And then start creating YouTube content, start creating content on social media that will appeal to that target audience. So what you're doing is you're building an audience before your product or service is even ready yet. So, the year that it might take, or the, 2 years it might take to build that audience, you're not just idly using that time, you're actually doing your background marketing. So when you're ready to launch, you have an audience that you've been speaking to for the last 6, 7, 8 months, and then you can launch your product and you're ready to go, and you can almost instantly generate sales because you've done the background work. What a lot of people do is they do the reverse of this. They get their product, their website, their service ready, and then they've got nobody to sell it to. But you have to do the marketing first and get people to kind of sell it to. But obviously, you can just do paid advertisements, so you can do paid ads and drive instant traffic to your website if you have some capital, some spare cash to invest in your paid ad strategy. Like I said, paid ads can be expensive, especially if you don't know really what you're doing. So I recommend downloading the formula. It's completely free before you spend any money on your paid ads. The formula is free and it's going to help you to, navigate through paid ads before you go ahead and spend loads of money on an ad campaign. And you might be one of the people who have messaged me in the past saying, Sam, I've spent X amount on my paid ads on Facebook or on Instagram or on LinkedIn, and already kind of invested money into it and not seen the results. And that's not really the position you want to be in. Obviously, you have to invest money to get the data back to know if the ad is a winning ad or not. But there are a lot of mistakes that you can cut out if you do your marketing right. And as I mentioned, you can download the formula. I'll also leave some relevant videos to paid marketing in the description down below, so you can take a look at those as well. But I recommend doing a bit of both. Doing your social media and your content marketing as well as doing your paid ads, because both of them will take a while to really take off. And you can start generating, short-term sales of your paid ads whilst you're creating content. But I always think it's a risky thing to rely on one traffic source. If you're only creating blog articles and your only way of driving traffic to your website is through SEO, or you're only doing LinkedIn marketing or YouTube marketing, then that can be a little bit risky, because if something happens to that source, Google can change its algorithm tomorrow and you might notice that your articles are no longer bringing in traffic for you for your website, or maybe your YouTube channel gets suspended and you can't reach your customers. So it's always a good idea to diversify, and the best way, in my opinion, to do this is by having one free traffic source that you focus on and one paid traffic source that you focus on. And you can put a little bit of money into your paid traffic and put some time into your free traffic and benefit from having both. So if one stops working for you, your business is still going. And also they complement each other as well. So if you are doing content marketing and you're generating emails, because I always teach to do content marketing and bring people back to your landing page and making sure that you're actually gathering data and remarketing to them later on down the line. You can use those marketing email lists as part of your strategy when doing paid ads. And I speak about that in more depth in some of my paid ad videos. Like I mentioned, they'll be in the description down below. But hopefully this kind of gives you a better insight into paid traffic and free traffic and which one you should consider doing for yourself. If you have any questions, then please let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, have a great day and I'll see you soon.